truck. Why do you ask so many questions?
Absolutely no video cameras are allowed.
This is how I'm feeling right now because I just was almost killed by a monster truck.
I mean, doesn't anybody want us to race?
I get to break us.
What dance for me, honey?
I lost my brakes totally.
I love it when he beats Bigfoot.
You like what you seen so far? You ain't seen nothing yet.
Last time on Eyewitness, we spent the weekend in Indio, California.
All I know is it hurts.
Dan Patrick, driver Samson, ran into some bad luck when he sprained his ankle. But then he stunned everybody by beating Bigfoot, the industry's top competitor.
You did good!
For an old man with bad foot.
The Hall brothers, Tim and Mark, are unbelievably passionate about monster truck racing.
So we're just going to smash them, then we're going to turn around and drive back up there and stop on them so people can take pictures.
They'd like to see monster truck racing become the next NASCAR, but they're getting more and more frustrated with the politics of the game. All of these monster truck drivers are headed out to their next show in Lima, Ohio. It's a 50-hour drive for everyone. We're tagging along, each of us with a different driver, so we can really get a taste of life on the road.
I'm hitching a ride with Tim Hall, who owns the Executioner. We're gonna make a quick stop in his hometown, Champaign, Illinois.
The worst element of our racing is the constant travel. If we didn't have to deal with that, it'd be great.
I'm riding shotgun with Dan Patrick. He seems tired and worn out, even more so now that he sprained his ankle. Bye, Paul! Dan hasn't seen his family in 6 weeks, and I think he could really use a bit of good luck.
I'll be 43 Monday. That's really old for a monster truck guy. Not really old. I mean, there's guys that have gone up in like 48, 49. I guess I am tired a lot, and you know, I'll talk with people and I go, well, I'm just, you know, tired of this, or I'm tired of that, and my comment is I'm just tired of being tired all the time.
I'm getting off easy and flying to St. Louis to check out the birthplace of monster truck racing, Bigfoot. And when I'm finished here, everyone else will still be on the road. That's gotta be rough.
People just don't get it. They don't understand how much sacrifice is involved. I don't like to travel 40 weeks a year, but, you know, that's part of it.
We've been on the road since yesterday.
We're driving straight through, they're taking shifts.
I slept in the cab.
And it's very bumpy back there.
Haven't brushed my teeth.
It's really nerve-wracking.
And I haven't had a shower.
It's impossible to sleep.
I'm about halfway through my flight to St. Louis, and I have to say I'm pretty happy about the fact that I'm really resting quite comfortably.
Is it bad?
No, whoever serviced it the last time didn't get the oil filter tight.
You know, when you're 25, you don't mind it so much because you're young, you want to experience the country. But when you're 43, it's like, you know, I've driven over 2 million miles. I've probably flown over 1 million miles.
We're all fixed, ready to go.
I can't think of an airport that I haven't been in at one time or another. I can't think of an interstate that I haven't been on.
From time to time I do get tired of traveling, but I enjoy the races so much that when you get there, you're kind of renewed for a while. Hopefully long enough to get to the next one.
We finally made it. Champaign, Illinois. Here we are. Tim and Mark Hall are brothers. They own a monster truck called the Executioner. Mark drives and Tim does all the work behind the scenes. Well, this is where Tim Hall lives, behind me, in this house in Champaign, Illinois. He lives with his parents, and they live in the corner of this massive cornfield out here. It's all flat prairie and just farms.
Jack Hall, I'm their dad.
Nice to meet you.
All right.
Heard a lot about you.
Huh?
Heard a lot about you from these guys. You know?
Morning!
Hi.
How are you this
Good.
morning?
Nice to meet you. I'm Paul.
Hi, Paul. Joan Hall.
Hi, pleasure.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, what do you think about this life?
Oh, it's great. I mean, life on the road, you know, I'm kind of tired of already.
Yeah, period, dot, amen.
They remind me of Superman's parents on that farm in Smallville, in a way. They're just very hardworking, sincere people, and they're very proud of their sons.
Actually, they started their racing careers in motorcycles. When they would come home, of course, they would set up their mock events in the sandboxes with their race cars and motorcycles and what have you. And that's, I think, how their racing careers started. This was their first rubber-tired monster truck, the Big Boss. And some of the awards that they won, he's got put up on the wall here. This was Mark when he had hair.
So that's Mark.
Wow. Just holding the fort long enough.
They're a racing family. That's the way it seems. Jack Hall, Tim's father, used to race motorcycles back in the 50s, and now he's retired.
You like hot peppers? I mean, these go to extreme. That's a jalapeno pepper. Actually, it's a jalapeno. It's a purple jalapeno pepper.
I can't believe how nice the Halls are. Who would have ever believed the monster truck world would have led me to a gentleman farmer with a garden full of jalapeno peppers? I hope the Hall boys do well this weekend in Lima. Hi.
Nice.
Thanks for your hospitality. Appreciate everything.
If Tim and Mark Hall are the ma and pa of the monster truck industry, then Bigfoot is the corporate giant. Although you'd never know it from some of the goofy boys club behavior I'm seeing.
Hi, Mom!
St. Louis, you think of baseball, beer, and Bigfoot. Bigfoot is about 15 miles outside of St. Louis in Hazelwood. The guy who founded the entire industry, Bob Chandler, resides here.
Well, this is where we built the first Bigfoot. It was our first shop. It was called Midwest 4-Wheel Drive Center back then.
Bob's an incredibly quiet, humble guy. He's completely the opposite of what a monster truck is or what you would expect him to be.
You see this right here? Side of the world's first monster truck.
Who would have thought?
Yes, only in America. That's all it was a hobby at first. We did it just to see if it would work. Some of the promoters saw a videotape and they wanted me to do it in front of the crowd. And the first time we did it in front of the crowd and saw their reaction, I mean, it was locked in. Everywhere we went, we had to crush cars.
This is the legendary Bigfoot, the most awesome truck ever built by man.
The name's probably one of the reasons for the success of the truck, because it's an entity. Instead of that truck, it's Bigfoot.
And now it's coming right at you, right in your own backyard. Your very own Bigfoot. It does what others can't. Go, Bigfoot, go.
Why do kids love it? I don't know. I'm glad they do.
Today, Bigfoot is a multi-million-dollar company with 15 trucks and 6 drivers. And I could see after being here only a day why Bigfoot has a major advantage over independent drivers like Tim Hall. They have so much money, a huge shop, specialized crew guys. I think if you race for Bigfoot, you probably made it to the top of this business.
Eric, you got a second?
Eric Tack is 29 years old, and he's been with Bigfoot about 6 years now. I'll be going with him to Lima, Ohio this weekend.
Hi, Mom!
Hey, Eric, I'm Sherry.
I talked to you on the phone?
Yeah, how are you?
Good. Bob's just as overwhelmed as everybody else about these, I think. I think he still can't believe that, you know, he invented his own industry, and it's still going.
I think Eric is a little intimidated by the camera. Everyone says that he's very loud and boisterous. I haven't really seen that. I think he's shying away from me. Because everyone says you're very intense competitor.
I guess I'm an intense competitor. I don't know.
You're described.
I don't evaluate myself. I don't try to. I don't want to.
I'm not really sure how to act here. This place is like a big boys club. All of these men are here, and you know, they're dirty and sweaty, and they're all fixing their trucks, and they're looking at me like, what are you doing here with this video camera? What's your deal?
Alan, Sherry Ellen.
Hi, hello. Sherry, nice to meet you.
You too.
Don't mind the little red dots.
She's the one going with us, huh?
She's in for a treat.
So she's the reason you said I have to ride down in the trailer. Boy, she don't know what she's getting herself into.
I'm nervous. For the first time on this trip, I'm a little nervous.
Why'd you tell me you were all booked ready to go at 9?
Daddy's.
What time? 10 o'clock. Pulling out.
Thank you for letting me be an honorary passenger in the Bigfoot ring.
Now you gotta thank Bob for that.
Alan and I seem to be having a small problem because I really have to go to the bathroom and there's nowhere to pull over. So I said, can't we just pull over at a McDonald's? And his response was,
where the hell do I put 80-foot of truck?
So, this presents a huge problem because the next rest area is 45 miles, so I'm sweating. It's obvious there's a favorite here at Lima, and the Bigfoot boys aren't making a secret of it.
We have a saying at Bigfoot, you win first, ask questions later.
And it's really hard watching Tim Hall try to compete with that.
I mean, doesn't anybody want us to race?
This is very exciting. This is my first jamboree. There's people barbecuing, they're kicking back, relaxing, people checking out each other's trucks, and I'm meeting lots of interesting people.
I guess the most exciting thing I've seen so far is the 45 varieties of pork rinds here in Lima.
But I'm pretty amazed that everyone just kind of sits around and looks at their trucks all day.
That's what it is. It's a show and shine.
It is.
Or a buff and scrub.
We drove all night to get here.
Where'd you come from?
Watertown, New York, up by the border in Canada.
You came all the way for this jamboree?
Yep, about 9 hours.
Is it that big a deal?
It was fun. Something to do.
Dan and I finally rolled in yesterday after our 50-hour drive.
So this is it, huh? This is where dreams are made. You go home the champ or the chump.
I saw Dan this morning. He's a little in a funky mood. I think it's because he's worried about his ankle. Last weekend he sprained it so badly that it knocked him out of some races.
So how are you feeling today?
Not good.
Angela was saying your ankle was real swollen last night.
Yeah, it was worse today.
Really?
Yeah.
Eric and I pulled in about midnight last night, and yes, Alan did let me go to the bathroom. Eric is still not warming up to me, and he's acting like a goofball.
What? Hello?
Because it still is exhilarating.
Exhilarating. That's too big of a word for me. I drive a monster truck.
From the moment we got here, I could tell that Tim and Mark Hall were the underdogs this weekend.
Yeah, sure can. How you doing? Look. You can hang on to that.
Bigfoot? You Bigfoot?
No, it's going to break down to you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Who's Bigfoot?
Tim was telling me earlier that it always seems at these events that Bigfoot always wins. That even if it's a close race, they'll always announce Bigfoot.
They suspect, for whatever reason, be it past performance or popularity or whatever, that certain individuals are supposed to win. So they call it that way. You lose the race, and we're fine with that. But when you win the race and they say you lost, that's when we have a problem. What's that?
Samson Bigfoot. Well, I get you and Digger the first rounds.
While Tim's uneasy about the race lineup, Dan and Eric seem pretty cavalier about it. After all, Dan's from Ohio, so he's got the hometown advantage. And Eric, well, he's Bigfoot.
In the first round of circle track, I'm going to take Gravedigger out. And in the first round of straight line, I'm going to take Samson out. You're going to take me out to dinner after I kick your ass.
This all feels so high school to me. Eric and Dan seem like the jocks, the cool, popular guys who can do no wrong.
Hey,
Are those Joe Cool sunglasses or what?
These are Joe Cole Senior sunglasses.
In the halls, I hate to say it, but they're like the nerds. Nobody's really paying much attention to them this weekend, and it's painful to watch them get left out.
Everything's Gravedigger and Bigfoot and Samson, and we're just nobody, I guess.
Why, what's wrong?
Well, they were bringing all them other trucks, and we're just, I mean, isn't anybody want us to race? I just was a little concerned, that's all.
Another bad call just confirms the Hall's suspicions that the odds are deliberately stacked against them.
They said you were disqualified. I asked Greg about running over the barrels and all like that, and he said that wouldn't. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Different forms of racing here this afternoon. First off, they will go circle track racing.
Circle track racing is when two monster trucks run against each other on an obstacle course.
We've got side-by-side racing also coming up tonight.
A straight line drag is two trucks running side by side. First one across the finish line wins.
Also, after the ton trucks, we'll freestyle a couple of our monsters here.
Freestyling is an event where a solo monster truck goes out and performs for the audience, kind of like a ballet.
Please welcome Mr. Mark Hall and the Executioner.
He's ready to go. We're in the first race against Dan. We're going right to racing as soon as he's ready.
Patrick on the far side. Patrick makes his spin over there.
Good job.
An executioner do.
I think we won.
Dan gained some serious air over there, I see.
Yeah. See, that's the thing in this obstacle course racing. Big air. You know,
for tech safety right now. The shut door winner. Samson is your winner, ladies and gentlemen.
What?
On to the next round.
What? Why was that? Greg told me that wasn't a disqualification. I thought Greg said that wasn't a disqualification. They said you were disqualified. I asked Greg about running over the barrels and all like that, and he said that wouldn't. Whoa, 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 whoa. I mean, you can hit the barrels. You can hit the barrels. You can't straddle them. They said you missed this far. Thing is, they're the officials, and if that's the way they call it, that's the way we have to go by. So we don't want to cause any trouble and raise a bunch of hell or nothing. It's just, you know, I thought I asked and was clear on that earlier, but apparently I wasn't. Now, he didn't keep both tires over the cars.
The winner is Greg.
Now, he clearly didn't keep both tires on the cars. Hey, he jumped clear across like that. Now, is that not two tires out?
His two front tires hit the cars.
The first car.
The first two tires.
That's one of them calls we were talking about earlier.
They're upset that both races they just felt were unfair. The first one they were disqualified because they didn't know about hitting the barrels. And the second race they just felt they were unfairly judged. And now they have to race Bigfoot.
Yeah, no tails.
Now looks over at the whoop-de-doos as he comes back up.
All right, what lane you want? You got lane choice. Okay. We're in the shit lane. We got a fast loser, and he jumped clear across this way, and they said that was okay.
Do you have any concerns?
Nope. Winter circle. Just another day. Just learning a curve.
We have a saying in Bigfoot. You win first, ask questions later.
We'll just see what happens. I think tonight just isn't our night of racing.
A good start out of that right lane of the Executioner. Hammered it on the top of the green.
We got too much air, I think.
How do you do, Alan?
Waiting for the call.
The winner is Eric Master of Executioner.
I win!
I think we might as well go home. It's just not our day.
Even with his sprained ankle, Dan's made it to the finals against Gravedigger. I'm impressed considering his injury and the intensity of the competition.
There's no lightweight trucks here, so sometimes you drive over your abilities or over your head, and you push the truck too far and it gets loose. But the only pressure I have is what I'm putting on myself.
Next up, Dan Patrick
I can't believe this just happened. I was watching and I'm still kind of in shock.
Next time on Eyewitness, we're all worried about Dan. We have no idea what kind of shape he's in after that flip.
Remember his four-leg!
The bad luck is spreading like wildfire. Another crash leaves us all pretty shaken up.
This is how I'm feeling right now because I just was almost killed by a monster truck.
And Tim and Mark Hall finally catch a break.
Mark Hall moves on to the next round.
That was a good race.
Yeah.